Over the summer of 2020, over 20 million Americans lost their jobs and filed for unemployment. People suddenly lost jobs in skilled and unskilled labor, and many people did not have enough money to cover their rent or even buy groceries. So despite our best efforts, we may end up in a bad situation. What is a bad situation, however? Being low on savings, having too much debt, or being on the verge of bankruptcy are all bad situations. But knowing how to manage a bad situation like these before they happen can make it easier to navigate and quicker to overcome. What should I do if I'm low on savings? A general rule of thumb is to have 6 months to a year's worth of savings at a minimum. This ensures that you can pay for rent, food, water, and other necessities even if you lose a job and can't find something for a few months. One of the easiest ways to save money is to set yourself a budget and build in savings. This ensures that weekly or monthly you're purposely setting money aside. What if I want to buy something expensive? If you want to make a large purchase, consider writing them down and waiting 2 weeks to a month before deciding if it's necessary to buy. I have too much debt. What can I do? Paying off debt can be stressful and financially draining, especially if you don't know where to start. Creating a budget with all your expenses and budgeting in your debt repayment can help you stay on top of overwhelming debt and tell you how much money you have to work with each month. What's the best way to deal with my debt? Well, there's 2 methods to tackling debt. First, the avalanche method. In this, you figure out which debt is most expensive. This means prioritizing the debt with the highest interest rates. By paying off this debt first, you'll save money on interest payments that can go towards other debt later on. Alternatively, in the snowball method, you can choose to pay off the smallest debts first and roll over those payments onto the other debts. With both strategies, you should make sure to pay the minimum amount on all other debts while attempting to pay more than the minimum on one or more of your prioritized debts. But why should I pay more than the minimum? Minimum payments won't make much of a difference in how long it takes to pay off, but increasing how much you pay by 2 or 3 times can speed up debt repayment and help you regain control of your finances. What do I do if I have a lot of different debts? If you have multiple forms of debt and you find it very hard to keep track of, debt consolidation can help you. What is debt consolidation? Well, you either use a balance transfer credit card or a personal loan to pay off all your other debts. Then you only focus on paying back this new singular loan, hopefully with a lower interest rate as well. What if these aren't enough to get my money under control? If you're really struggling to make ends meet and pay your bills, government assistance programs in your area may be able to provide you with some relief. The government can provide assistance for food, healthcare, housing, supplemental income, or even grants for certain activities. What's my last resort if I can't pay my bills? If you're really behind on payments and can't afford to repay all of your debts, you might consider filing for bankruptcy. When filing for bankruptcy, depending on the type, a court-appointed trustee can sell some of your possessions and repay some of your debt, and afterwards, the creditors will consider the debts resolved. Other types of filings can create a debt repayment plan and potentially dissolve some of your debts. Filing for bankruptcy should only be done with caution and professional advice. Bankruptcy can severely impact your credit score, make it difficult to get any other loans, and even make it difficult to get a job. And they'll also stay on your credit history for 7 to 10 years. Being in a bad situation can be stressful and confusing. If you find yourself with low savings, debt, or being in bankruptcy, rest assured there are ways to handle and deal with it. Using budgets, debt consolidation, or even government assistance can all be ways to handle tricky financial situations. While it's unfortunate to picture, many of us are not in the best financial shape all the time. If we lose our job, have unexpected emergencies, or simply aren't prepared, it can be scary. With these strategies, you'll be prepared to handle and overcome bad financial times and recover. When in a bad situation, it's best to do everything you can as early as you can. Even if some options don't seem appealing, like government assistance, it's better to get back on your feet and get to the next chapter of your life sooner.